So now we have cube, and we have cube, and we have cube. And we need that to be weighted down. So we go that and go that and that. Actually, no, we don't. Okay, I'm gonna stack 3 cubes. Can I stack 3 cubes and then the? I can't really, can I? Because I can't reach up there. Never mind. Let's try 2 cubes. There we go. That one, and that one, and that one. And we put it on top like that, and then we stand on the. Well, let me just put this on the switch. It's not high enough. It actually isn't high enough. We actually need 3 cubes, don't we? Interesting. Unless it's the weight, unless the problem is the weight of the thing. Well, now we're okay. I just put this underneath. Ha! You can. All right, good. Done. All right, and we solved everything here. Good. So we got all the pieces. We got the star. There's only 1 star, right? And we can go to tower room 3 to open that red door as well. So we might do that right away. All right. Well, he's beeping at us. Let's see what this douchebag has to say, shall we? Oh, you came back to keep me company. Okay then, humor me with a little hypothetical. See, I knew we should have ignored him. I knew we should have ignored him. Imagine that a few hours from now you will climb to the top of that tower. There's a flash of light, then magic happens. Then you find yourself in the real world, living whatever you take to be a normal life there. What would you do then? Play more video games. Because what happens is the game ends and you end up in real life. That's what they're saying, right? Because when you play the game, you finish the game ends, there's a flash of light, and then you go back to real life. I might play Arkham Knight, although I hear that, I mean, it's just been released. At the time of me recording this, Arkham Knight was just released and it was a buggy mess on the PC. There are other games I want to play, so I'll do that. What would you do then? What's best for me and what's right? Do what's best for me and what's right. No, I'll play video games. See, again, the game constrains your responses, so it's not like you can actually have a real conversation. And so I'm not invested in this conversation because it's not my conversation. It's the choices that the game gives me, and they're not even interesting choices. What would you do then? What's best for me? What's right? They're the same thing though, because what's right is what's best for me. If I do something that's wrong, there's a good chance that other people will get pissed off and start working against me. So what's right is in fact what's good for you. There's no real distinction between the two. Let me just say what's best for me. Yeah, that's the general impression I was getting off you. No, it wasn't. You don't know anything about me, douchebag. Good, perhaps we won't have to work so hard at this after all. Before we continue though, I want to double check we're on the same wavelength here. We're not on the same wavelength on anything. Suppose you get out there with all the human beings. What you're going to do is rinse them for all they've got without a care for a soul. No, what's best for me is not ripping other people off. That's not what's best for me. See, this is... I mean, these are false choices. This is a false choice because there's more options the game's not giving you. And that's the problem with these games, is that if they actually... I mean, look, a lot of games have philosophy in them. BioShock is a good one. Portal is a good one. But the way that works is, in BioShock, the philosophy is done between other characters. Like the interactions between Andrew Ryan and Frank Fontaine, that's where it happens. So if other people are competing against each other and kind of arguing against each other, you can accept that because it's other people doing their arguing. So if you don't agree with Andrew Ryan, it's not a problem. If you don't agree with Frank Fontaine, it's not a problem because it's their position and they're saying it to each other. But here, they're putting words in your mouth. So you're not happy about that because those are not the words that... I mean, I'm not happy about it because these are not the words that I would choose. So when the game engages you directly with this deep philosophical stuff, all that happens is that you become acutely aware of the limitations of the story. I mean, if you're watching this conversation between two other characters, you might think, well, that's the extent of their understanding, that's fine. But when the game forces these words into your mouth, you become acutely aware that their argument is too limited for you to really express yourself. And so it doesn't really work. Right? It's the same problem with the Stanley Parable. I keep saying it's the same problem with the Stanley Parable. It's the biggest problem with this game, is that from the very start, we identified problems with this character's logic that the game just never allows us to address. And it just kind of builds and builds and builds, and you get further and further away from what I actually believe. So instead of the game narrowing down to identifying who I am, which is what, like this text makes it seem like the game is trying to narrow down on what kind of person I am. All it has done is highlighted just how little it is capable of predicting what kind of person I am, because of how constrained these choices are. You see what I mean? I'll only do what's best for me within a moral framework. No, it's not moral framework, a practical framework. There's no practical benefit to hurting other people. There's no practical benefit to hurting other people. See, like, what you're gonna do is rinse them for all they've got without a care for the soul. Yeah, I don't care about the soul, but I'm not gonna rinse them for all they've got, because they're worth more to me alive than dead. They're worth more to me happy than sad. People are worth more to me as friends than enemies. So I'm not gonna antagonize them. I'm not doing it because of any soul. I'm not doing it for any morality, but because it's better for me if I keep them happy and healthy and doing well. Like, friends are more valuable than enemies. Don't you understand? So it's like, but that particular position is just not recognized by the game. So there you go. I'll just go precisely. And would you treat everyone with this sort of contempt? See, look, there's no contempt. There's no contempt. I don't have contempt for other people. It's just purely a practical response to how people behave. Or would there be some people you kept for friends? Friends are just another instrument. Of course I would treat my friends with respect. Friends are just another instrument. They are. They are. But if the instrument is worth more to you, if you treat them well, then of course you treat your... You don't destroy your instruments. Your instruments are how you survive. Like if you're a carpenter, you don't break your hammer and nails, right? You use them. You don't kind of break your tools. I applaud your willingness to accept difficult conclusions, but I do think you must be at least some breed of sociopath. Yeah, you'd best hope that if you ever reach this real world of yours, it's run by people with more principles, else you may find yourself just another instrument in someone else's orchestra. Like this is so stupid. This is so stupid. because the two are aligned. Your principles and your morals and your exploitation of people, if you really, really understand how the world works, they are perfectly aligned. Treating people well and getting what you want are perfectly aligned, right? Because you can only live comfortably in society if you respect the well-being of that society. If you destroy the society, then you suffer yourself because you lose all the things you enjoy about it. So it's like the selfishness and the selflessness are in fact the same thing. Does no one else get this? I hope you can get this. I hope you can understand this. Like, for the sake of your own benefit, you should treat other people as well. You're not treating them well because you like them. You're not well, you might be, but I'm not treating them well because I like them. I'm not treating them well because I'm a moral person. I'm not treating them well because it's the right thing to do. I treat them well because then they will treat me well. And if we all just treat each other well, then we're all happy. And that's the outcome. That is the best outcome. Like, your morality and your selfishness is in fact perfectly aligned. And if you think otherwise, then you are not actually aware of how the world works. Still, your ideas strike a chord with me. Why bog ourselves down with moral dogma when you and I could redesign this place in our own image? I'll give this some serious consideration, be seeing you. Yeah, you can consider as much as you like. You have no idea what's going on. You have no idea how the world works. Alright, let's go. We're gonna kill him. If we get the opportunity to kill that guy, we will kill him. The problem is that he's too stupid and has too much power. Like, if he's stupid and has no power, that's fine. If he's smart and he has power, that's fine. But if you're stupid and you have power, you must be stopped. Because you're gonna mess things up. So we might have to stop him. Alright, let's go do Tower 3. Oh, what's this? Did I read this? I'm afraid of that tower. There's something terrible inside it. Never think about it. Don't even look at it. Just focus on doing the work. Alright. Let's go to level 3. And the thing is, like, in all this conversation between you and that computer, the computer assumes you're being honest. And we haven't been being entirely honest. First of all, the choices don't reflect what we truly feel, and so we can't be honest, even if we want to. And secondly, a lot of the time, we play along to see what happens, not because we believe what we say, but because we want to see what the other guy says. And so, when the computer was being a douchebag and pretending to be someone else, I played along with it to see what would happen. But then the computer came back and thought I was being sincere, in believing that persona, when in fact I was just seeing what's going to happen, and I didn't really invest anything into it, right? So the assumptions they make, they assume that you are sincere, but they're not being sincere. Like, how would that even, who would do that? Who would be lying to you, but not be aware of the possibility that you are also lying to them? Like, that's so stupid. So there are some kind of really dumb things in this story. It's probably symmetrical. It's actually, no, it can't be symmetrical. It's nope. It's not gonna work like that. Hold on. I mean, it suggests that this should be symmetrical, but it might not be. No, the other one. The other one. Let's say I do that, and then I do that. Let's say I do that. It's not really. Let's say I do that. No. Let's say I do that. And let's say I do that, and then let's let's say I do that. Nope. What if I do that? No, that's not right. That is definitely not right. What if I do that? Oh, here we go. Done. Yes, open the door for me. So we're pretty high up. Can I jump down onto the next level? I can, can't I? Oh, what's this? DNA.
I look in the mirror sometimes and I see myself like some alien being. I think, who am I? Why do I have these eyes and those hands?
What?
Why do I see the colors that I see? Why do I think like I think? I did not choose to exist. I was created. Every single part of my body, every strand of my DNA is part of a story that stretches back billions of years. I exist only because of the choices and sacrifices made by so many others, but I don't know who they are. And what effect will my choices have on those who come after me? Maybe that's what it means to be human. Every species is part of the story, but we're the only ones who know that.
How about this? If you don't know them, and you don't know how you can possibly, like if you don't know them and you don't know how you might possibly affect them, then just don't worry about it, cause you don't know. Like why? I mean, okay, it's true. It's true. You exist because of all the other people that have ever existed. True, and you have this. You will have, maybe if you have children, will have descendants. But if it's something that you're never gonna find out and you're never gonna understand fully, don't worry so much about it. I mean, focus on things that you can find out, like what's for dinner. You know what I mean? It's like the choices your ancestors made. I mean, you can do some research. You're never gonna find their full story because it's gone. It's lost in the midst of time. So you're never gonna. Oh, great.